आंसर दूंगी।
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38.
The US Federal Reserve trimmed its key interest rate for the third time this year, while signaling 2025 will not follow a similar path. Now, economists currently predict the central bank in the US will mark actually 2 rate cuts in 2025. A few months ago, that bet was 4. A month ahead of transferring power, the outgoing Biden administration has announced a new set of rules for H-1B visas that make it easier for American companies to hire foreign workers with special skill sets and also facilitate a smoother transition from the F-1 student visas to H-1B visas. India and China agree on 6 points to resolve the border issue as National Security Advisor G. Doval met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. The consensus points also include cross-border tourism, including in areas like Tibet, and cross-border river cooperation and Nathula border trade, and the resumption of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Gaza mediators intensify their ceasefire efforts. This as Israeli airstrikes killed 30 Palestinians over the last 24 hours. China is rapidly building up its defense arsenal, especially nuclear warheads. US officials have warned Beijing is on course to have 1,000 nuclear weapons by the year 2030, according to a US federal report on China's military. Japanese automakers Nissan and Honda confirmed that they are discussing closer collaboration, but denied reports they have decided on a merger. You are watching The World 24/7 on the NDTV network. I'm Parmeshwar Bava. Our big focus currently, the US Federal Reserve cut interest rates, but suggested it would make fewer rate cuts than expected in 2025, amid questions over its fight to bring down inflation across the world's largest economy. Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, said inflation had been stubborn, but insisted the central bank believed its rate hikes would continue to erode the pace of price rises. My colleague Rishabh Bhatnagar has been tracking the finer details for us. He joins us at the moment with a live update. Rishabh, take us through the ripple effects of the Fed's decision. We're already seeing that the US stock markets have endured one of their most severe declines of the year.
Right. What we're seeing is a 25 bips cut, but that is something that has not caused the market crash. It's the outlook by the Fed that has caused the markets to go down this morning. What we've seen from Wall Street today, it is the halving of the number of cuts from compared to September this year is what has shocked and caught the markets by surprise. So the number of 25 bips cuts going ahead instead of four. Now we can expect two more for the current year. That has caught the markets by surprise and caused the crash. Though the commentary by Jerome Powell, the US Fed Reserve Chairman, has remained cautiously optimistic. He said the economy is doing well. He also said that there is no sort of preset course for any interest rate cuts, and this is something that is debated every few months when the Fed committee meets. They also said that the stance by the Federal Reserve is significantly closer to neutral now, and he also believes that the policy still remains meaningfully restrictive, and they will continue to keep on looking for more progress on the inflation front.
As always, Rishabh, thanks so much for joining us with the latest. In other news, in a significant move towards improving ties, India's National Security Advisor G. Doval and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met, marking the first special representative level talks between India and China since the year 2019. Now, the two special representatives agreed to resume key activities. This includes pilgrimages, border trade, and data sharing on river management. You know, they also discussed the importance of maintaining peace and stability along their shared border, though with some differing perspectives on how to approach the issue. But China's foreign ministry has described the talks as in-depth and constructive, with both countries agreeing to address simpler issues first and gradually build a roadmap for future cooperation. Meanwhile, I must inform you that China is expanding its nuclear force. It has increased military pressure against Taiwan and has strengthened its ties with Russia over the past year. This is according to a Pentagon report that details actions accelerating key areas of conflict with the United States. Now, this report, however, also notes that the recent rash of corruption allegations within China's powerful Central Military Commission, which oversees the People's Liberation Army, is hurting Beijing's military growth and could also slow its campaign to modernize. But a senior US defense official said the impact is a bit of a mixed bag because while there has been progress in some programs, China has slid back in others. Switching tracks, in an exclusive NDTV interview, world chess champion Gukesh shares his emotions before his thrilling victory over China's Ding Liren in the final game of the 2024 World Chess Championship. Gukesh actually discusses the rise of chess in India, the influence of former cricket coach Paddy Upton on his mental game, and how his approach to pressure mirrors that of cricket legend MS Dhoni. Listen in.
We want to talk to you first about that winning moment. We saw you got very emotional. Tell us how you were feeling at the time.
Quite exciting and emotional. I did not expect to win that game, and yeah, when it happened, I got my emotions to pull.
Right. Well, you said you didn't expect to win the game. So how did you manage the stress? Your opponent won the first and 12th round. You won 3rd, 11th, 14th. Tell us which round was the most difficult.
Yeah, I did not expect to win that final game because the position was heading towards it, and I thought I'll just keep pushing. I'll just keep trying to win, but like objectively, it should end in a draw. But when he made a mistake, it was quite a nice moment. And the most difficult game for me was to handle, I think, after the losses after game 1 and game 12. But all those three nice wins were quite nice.
Now, chess is a mind game. For the youth who are watching right now, just tell us how important it is to maintain calm and be in control of the game.
Yeah, it's not an easy job to maintain maintain your composure throughout the games and the tournament. And yeah, I just try my best. I do some yoga and meditation, which really helps me a lot. And I think with some experience and with some mental toughness, I am able to handle these emotions quite well. It's not easy, but with some experiences, some good habits, I think it's very much possible.
All right, now, so yoga and meditation. Now, during the game, we saw you were also closing your eyes, trying to maintain calm. Tell us a bit about your mind functions at time. How do you think it pressurizes your opponent?
Yeah, when he was, my opponent was taking long things in the opening, I tried to close my eyes because I knew what my reply would be to his moves, and I just tried to like focus on my breathing and just stay in the moment and not put too much energy in those moments because I'll be needing those in the later parts of the game. So I yeah, there were some simple things that I tried to do, and there are always each player has their own way of dealing with different kinds of situations, and yeah, it's part of the mental side of the game is for sure very important part of the game.
All right, D Gukesh. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us here at NDTV, and may you continue to be victorious and also inspire the youth. Thank you.
Let's get you an update as far as Israel's war in Gaza is concerned. The United States, joined by Arab mediators, sought to conclude an agreement between Israel and Hamas to halt the 14-month-old war in the Gaza Strip. But as per local media reports, Gaza ceasefire mediators are urging Israel to agree to the release of high-profile Palestinian prisoners in the agreement's next stages. Sources close to the talks in Cairo, meanwhile, say that an agreement could be signed in coming days on a ceasefire and a release of hostages held in Gaza in return for Palestinian prisoners that are held by Israel. With that, let's take you to France now, where judges there will hand down verdicts on 51 men today in a mass rape trial that has turned a 72-year-old woman into a feminist icon. For almost a decade, Giselle Pellicot was drugged by her ex-husband Dominique, who then invited dozens of men he had recruited online to have sex with her in her bed at home while she was unconscious and unaware. The verdict is expected in this rape trial that has shocked not only France but the entire world. As always, news and updates continue on NDTV. We're slipping into a very short break from now. Do stay tuned.
Empower India's growth engine. Join the game changers, industry leaders, policy makers, and innovators at NDTV's Emerging Business Conclave. Discover exclusive insights, powerful networking, and strategies to accelerate MSME growth in India. NDTV's Emerging Business Conclave, 19th December on NDTV Network. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. Empower India's growth engine. Join the game changers, industry leaders, policy makers, and innovators at NDTV's Emerging Business Conclave. Discover exclusive insights, powerful networking, and strategies to accelerate MSME growth in India. NDTV's Emerging Business Conclave, 19th December on NDTV Network. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज.
Well, Japanese automakers Nissan Motor Co. and Honda Motor Co. have actually confirmed that they are discussing closer collaboration, but they have denied reports that they have decided on a merger. The ascent of Chinese automakers, though, is rattling the industry at a time when manufacturers are struggling to shift from fossil fuel-driven vehicles to electrics. My colleague Mugdha joins us with a quick update at the moment. Mugdha, take us through what a merger between Nissan and Honda could mean for the automakers and the industry.
Let's just look at the background first. The Honda and Nissan came together sometime earlier this year to talk on EVs. Now, EV is becoming a very big challenge, especially for Japanese automakers and, of course, for European automakers as well. But Japan clearly is seeing this as losing their hold on the industry, global auto industry, and we have seen Suzuki and Toyota come together, and now now Nissan and Honda are coming together. They first decided that they will come together for EVs, but now the latest reports tell us that they are now looking ahead at a merger. Renault had already showed, Renault and Nissan are in a merger, in a tie-up where Renault holds 15% share in Nissan and Nissan holds 15% share in Renault. Renault had already said that they are looking at offloading their stake.
Right.
So it only makes sense for Japanese automakers to come together and make their position stronger. Honda and Nissan, on the other hand, have been losing market share in key markets, including US and China. China market has become very Chinese automaker oriented. They're the biggest EV makers.
Yes, we have seen that. Well, Mugdha, thanks so much for joining us with that quick update. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates and clarity on the merger. But now, to an NDTV exclusive, South Korean superstar Lee Byung-hun, known for his iconic role as the frontman in Squid Game, he gets candid about what's coming in Season 2, his Hollywood journey, and his aspirations to work in Indian cinema. He even reminisces about his visit to Mumbai and his love for its vibrant markets. Oh, and of course, my colleague Arun Singh served him some biryani. We leave you with this.
With me is the frontman from Netflix's Squid Game. I'm Arun Singh, a very warm welcome. And since I'm from India, I've got a little something. This is a rice dish. It's called biryani. All the way from India for you, a little gift from my side.
Thank you.
So let's begin the interview. So, the frontman was quite a devil in the first season. Do we expect a softer side, a human side in the second season?
네가 그 안에서 총질을 하든 밖에서 야바이 짓을 하든 달라지는 건 없어. 456번, 나한테 뭘 원하지? 다시 게임을 하게 해줘.
인간적이라기보다는 시즌 1에서의 프론트맨은 사실
I
굉장히
don't know about humanistic, but in season 1, he played almost an operational role where he was carrying out and hosting the games. However, in season 2, you're going to get a little bit more about his backstory, about his past, and also about his emotions. So in a way, you will get a greater glimpse of his more humanistic side. And I think for sure, it's definitely going to be a season where you get to know more about
그
him.
인간적인 부분 또한 우리가 알 수 있게 되겠죠.
Lovely. You've transitioned to Hollywood as well. Were there any cultural or professional challenges on the way?
처음 헐리우드 작품을 시작할 때 사실은 그 전에 어떤
When I was doing my first Hollywood production, because there were no precedents, it was truly quite a lonely challenge for me. I didn't have anywhere to look to, I didn't have anyone to ask for advice, so I just had to brave the situation and experience it without knowing what was going to happen. But still, I think as a performer and as an actor, it's really all about bringing out human emotions. That's your weapon. And so I relied on that only, and I took on that challenge almost recklessly, I think. But now, looking back on all of it, I think that while certain small details or certain ways or the system may be slightly different, overall, because what we do is bring to the screen human emotions, it wasn't that different.
무작정 무모하게 밀어붙였었던 그런 기억이 나요.
저희는 여러분을 해치려는 게 아닙니다. 여러분들에게 기회를 드리는 겁니다.
Korea is such a global cultural power, and we also love you. India loves you. But considering the political situation now, do you think that's going to impact the economy and conditions here, and then have a global impact on what Korea has been able to create on the world level?
한국의 국민으로서 사실은 굉장히 혼란스럽고 또
As a Korean citizen, I think we can all agree that we are in a very confusing and confusing time, and also we feel a sense of loss almost. And I'm not very different from that. However, as for its economic impact or what it may mean to the overall industry, because I am not an expert, I think it wouldn't be right for me. It's hard for me to say.
그런 부분들은 사실 뭐 제가 뭐라고 얘기할 수는 없죠.
야, 그럼 여긴 왜 다시 들어왔냐? 난 그 게임을 멈추려는 거야.
India loves you, as I already said. Any aspirations to work in Indian cinema? Any filmmaker, any actor you aspire to work with? Or in general, if there would be a chance to work in Indian cinema, would you?
사실 뭐 인도뿐만 아니라 어떤
I think, yes, of course, not just India, but also just anywhere around the world. I am always open and eager to working with different creators, directors, writers, and actors anywhere around the world. I think what's really important is what story do we want to tell and how do we tell the story. And I visited India, although it was very brief, and I remember just being amazed at how culturally different everything was. So ever since then, I've always wanted to go back for a longer trip and learn more about the culture.
달라서.
Last question, which part of India did you visit and what did you like the most there?
bombay였던 것 같고 비행기에서 내리자마자 나는
I remember the moment I landed in Bombay, the aroma, because I feel like each country, they have their own aroma. It felt very different to me, and I have very vivid memories of visiting one of the street markets there.
제가 짧게나마 있었던 시간에 가봤던 그 재래시장.
Lovely. I hope you enjoy the biryani also.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll try it.
Thank you. This is Arun Singh signing off for NDTV.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. Empower India's growth engine. Join the game changers, industry leaders, policy makers, and innovators at NDTV's Emerging Business Conclave. Discover exclusive insights, powerful networking, and strategies to accelerate MSME growth in India. NDTV's Emerging Business Conclave, 19th December on NDTV Network. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith. the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world,
Hello and good morning. You're watching Breakfast Show on NDTV. I'm Radhika Ramaswamy joining you from Mumbai studios. We also have Divya joining us from Delhi. Divya, grim news coming from Mumbai. A tragic boat accident off Mumbai coast that claimed 13 lives. Besides that, a lot of drama and chaos expected in Parliament over Ambedkar Rao. We have a lot coming up on the